Hi team, hope you're all doing well. Happy Friday. Hope you're looking forward to a weekend. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a chilly one. Look, I've got quite a bit that I wanted to talk about, so apologies for the length of this video, but I think most of the things that we're going to talk about are pretty important. So the first thing is I've been here 3 months now, which has given me a great opportunity to meet all of you and get to know you a little better. Now it sort of comes into the next phase of me going to come around and start to critique a few things. I just wanted to address this so that no one feels that it's a personal attack, but as the business owner, it's my job, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I wouldn't be doing the right thing by the customer, you guys, and essentially the business if I don't start doing this. So don't be surprised if I do come up to you and have a chat to you about things, opportunities in your own environment that you could improve on. Just want you to know it comes from a good place. It's not me wanting to critique you or make you feel bad. It's just wanting me to see you grow and improve, which if we grow, the business grows and everyone is happy. So please understand it's coming from a good place. Couple little updates. So the pre-test, we're just not seeing enough of the verts come through. So a lot of the optoms are having to come out of their room and vert glasses. So it's quite important to ask customers in that pre-test environment if they have glasses, existing glasses, and that we vert them. Now the other thing that's happening is quite often I think we think we're doing the right thing. We write on there, say, multifocal, but then the optom doesn't know which pair is the multifocal. So it's quite important that we just write on there, say, yellow arms, or tortoiseshell brown plastic frame, whatever. Just some quick notes to actually identify which frame is which is really, really helpful. The next thing for the optometrist is the visual fields. So we're just seeing a lot of the visual fields tests. If they are completed, the board doesn't seem to make it back to the optometrist. So it's just really important that board, that patient's details gets back to the optometrist so that they know that the visual field is done. If the visual field, so if there's more than 3 out of 10, I believe, we need to rebook the patient in for another visual fields, and you can do that straight away. So you can pick another time when the patient might be feeling a little bit more relaxed or less tired, to redo the fields. The second thing is if for some reason you don't get a chance to do the fields and the customer doesn't want to do it, we don't want to bill for it on that day. So you need to let the supervisor know that you haven't been able to complete the fields, and then let the optometrist know as well. Customer data, I talked about this last week, but I just wanted to bring it up again. Really, really important. So we're just going to make a slight tweak, which does take a little bit of effort from whoever's doing the arrival, but I think it will help our customers and help us in the long run. So customer data is super, super vital. I have heard that quite often we are still unable to bill Medicare, and there's issues where we've just not getting the patient's name correct, which is, I guess, embarrassing. Like if you went to a doctor's surgery and they got your name spelt wrong or your date of birth incorrect, it'd just be a little bit frustrating for you. So we just need to pick up our game on that. The way that we've come up with the change that we want to do is if you arrive a customer in, firstly we should be asking if they look like a new customer. We need to be asking every single time if it's a new customer, have you been here before? Because we still get dupe files. These days customers can book in online and all they have to put in is first name, last name, and phone number. So quite often it won't pick up their original file in here. So we need to check that every single time. The second thing is we're still getting incorrect names, dates of birth, phone numbers. So it's pretty embarrassing if, say, an optometrist needs to call a patient about results, say, from their visual fields, and we've got the incorrect phone number and we can't actually call the patient. Again, if you went to the doctor and they need to follow up with you, I think you'd be pretty frustrated as a patient if if they had the wrong details and they couldn't get hold of you. So what we're going to do is, once you've printed off the arrival information, we're going to get you to sort of turn that board around to the customer and get them to confirm that their names, their first name, last name, date of birth, contact phone and email are all correct, and the customer is just going to give you a verbal approval that all that is correct after they've physically viewed it themselves. Okay, so it is a bit of a change. It will take a little bit of getting used to, but I think it will pretty much eliminate us getting the wrong information if we're getting the customer themselves to check it. The salmon colour appointments in the diary, so just wanted to make sure that everyone is aware what those are for. So the main reason for those is for on the spot walk-in inquiry. So people standing in the store with 2 pairs of frames, but they've their script's expired, but they want to purchase those glasses. That is number one, and also for emergency care as well. So feel free on the day, you can book those appointments in. Just be mindful that that's the main purpose of them. We're just seeing quite often that I think we get scared to book those appointments in. So please feel free to use those salmon appointments on the day. Now the next topic is something that I don't enjoy talking about, is sick leave. Now just a couple of changes around sick leave. So the one is, and I don't know if this has been an expectation before, but it is an expectation going forward. Whether you're sick for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, we're going to request that you bring in a medical certificate. Now we can enforce that for full-timers and part-timers. For casual, you're not legally obliged to do that, but what I would say to our casual team is, as the business owner, it is my job to put the best team on the floor, and if you're regularly unable to turn up for shifts, that's going to impact. If you're not as experienced as other casual team members, I'm going to be aiming to put the most experienced, best team on the floor, and hopefully you understand that that's not coming from a bad place. That's just me as the business owner wanting to give my customers the best service with the most experienced people. So again, all staff, if you're sick for the day, the request is that you have a sick note, even for 1 day. So if anyone has any issues, please feel free to chat to me. Again, it comes from a good place of wanting, the best outcomes for our customers and the business as a whole. I was gonna talk about our initial greeting with customers, but I'm gonna below this video that I post in the group, I'm gonna post in a YouTube video from a mate called Gavin, who I've known for many years, and he's explains the point I want to get across around our initial greeting far better than I could ever explain it. So please, it's about a 4-minute video from him. He's a great guy, he's a bit kooky, but if you can please watch it, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Hopefully he sort of rings some points, and hopefully he explains it in a great way. Lastly, I just wanted to touch on, following on from that greeting, is a concept of every day is day one. A few years ago, I was lucky enough, I don't know if you know, but in the news this week, so the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos, retired as CEO of Amazon. He's worth $200 billion now, but their company philosophy is that every day is day one. And the reason that is because on day one of your business, you're super attuned to everything. If you've got your first ever customer, you're really looking after that customer because it's your first customer. The first day of opening your store or your business, you're wanting to do the best possible job. So for Amazon, every day is day one, and that's how they constantly improve and get better, is because they're treating every day as day one. I was lucky enough a couple of years ago to be in Seattle, where their head office is. They have around Seattle, they actually have I think it's up to about 60 office spaces now, office buildings. But I went to the building that Jeff works out of, and that building is called the Day One building. So it's throughout their culture. But I just wanted to highlight, if you're ever having a bad day, or you want to think about things in a different way, think about how you would act if it was day one, because that's a really good way to bring it back and to keep growing, to keep evolving, and to keep things, that we need to look after customers, look after each other. And I think that's a great place to be. I've taken up almost 10 minutes of your time, so apologies for the long video. Hopefully some of it rings true. Now lastly, just a reminder, the team planning night is the 22nd of Feb. All right guys, that is it for me. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening. Cheers.